Hi, I'm Angela Wolf, and for those of you that know me, you know I'm very excited about my new pattern. The first pattern is finally here. What an adventure. Although I'm a fashion designer and have been designing clothes forever, well, it seems like forever, I never had to write directions. That's really the chore here, but anyways, it's here. So I want to respond to some emails I've received. Some people say, well, I ruche different than you do. Why do you use the twill tape? Why don't you use elastic? So this is what I've heard. A lot of people use the elastic, just a thin elastic. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you use that, you would stretch it while you sew onto the seam, and then it ruches together. The only thing I don't like about that is it's so bulky. This is really bulky. I don't like that. So that's why I don't use that. But like I said, there's nothing wrong with if you decide to do it that way. Then of course you have the what I call swimsuit, athletic wear elastic. It's clear, you stitch through it. That stuff's great. This is the problem. I've had this stuff for a few years, and even in some of the tops and bathing suits I've had, look at this. Uh-oh. So, through time, it actually loses this, well, it still has the elasticity, but it loses something and breaks. And you don't want that. I mean, I don't know how long you keep your tops, but when I sew something, I keep it forever because it usually took forever. Now, the good part of the Ruch-T is you can make it in 45 minutes. But here we go. This is what I use. Twill tape. I'm just going to flip this inside out to show you. See how thin this is compared to the elastic? It doesn't look like that much of a difference, but it is. When it's inside your seam, this doesn't fold or bend. This crinkles right up, really thin. So I run a basting stitch down here and then attach it with the twill tape. So now it doesn't stretch, it stays that way. I don't have to worry about anything. It's there forever. So let me show you how easy this is to do, and then you make up your mind what you decide you want to do.
So this is what the ruching looks like on the outside. This one's kind of a tight ruche, which I like. Sometimes I'll do the ruching real tight all the way through the side, or maybe just at the bottom, on the sleeves, whatever, but that's what the outside looks like. And this is what the inside looks like. It has the twill tape. And for those of you that hand dye your fabrics like I do, the twill tape dyes the same color, which is even better. So let's go over here to the machine. I'm going to show you how to do this. First off, you're going to take your machine and set it to a basting stitch. Before I start sewing, of course I have to brag a little bit more about my Brother machine. So usually I have to press here to do a back stitch, and then I'll press up a little higher. There's the back stitch, there's the stay stitch, automatic cut, you know, all the great features. But this machine comes with something even cooler. You can do it all with your feet. So check this out. You can see my foot at the left. Of course, I have adorable shoes on. It's my huge addiction. In this machine, it has 3 places for your foot. You can go forward to stitch, or you press on the back of the foot, and then there's a foot to the left. And look at what I'm doing on the screen. I'm showing you single stitch, reverse stitch, cutting. You pick what you want each one to do. So I've set mine up where it'll do a reverse stitch and then automatic cutting. So here I am back to the basting stitch. I'm basting all the way down. I've already sewn that seam once with the machine, and now I'm sewing just outside of that stitch line. You could do it right on it too, that's fine. But now do not use your automatic cutter right here. Just pull out some thread, because you need to have some extra thread in order to be able to pull this ruching up. And then I'm simply pulling the ruching. It's best to start pulling with the thread that came from your bobbin, from the underneath. It's so much easier. So I've ruched this really, really tight up here. And you can slowly pull that back out, or you can maneuver it while you're sewing. Change your stitch length back. I usually use about a 3.0. And I'm going to, my needle is already down into the fabric. I'm going to lift my presser foot up. Just do a little back stitch. Oh, by the way, I'm back stitching and I'm not touching anything. Remember, I'm doing it with my foot. So here, I'm going to put this twill tape underneath. Just do a couple stitches until it catches. Perfect. Now I usually stitch an inch at a time. I can hold the twill tape over the ruching to help so it doesn't, you know, you don't want your feed dogs to pull it all out. You want that ruching to stay nicely. I'll hold it again down for another inch, stitch, making sure that everything is laying flat. Someone asked me if they're using a thicker fabric, does it matter? No, because you can serge off that extra fabric. And all the way down. See how easy that is? Now here at the end I can kind of maneuver everything a little bit more evenly And then if I want more ruching, I'll just simply pull up that long thread a little bit more at the end, hold my twill tape. Okay, here we go. I'm back stitching. Well, I'm stitching. Now I'm back stitching with the back of my petal. See how my hands are always on the fabric. This is such an awesome feature. And now I'm going forward again, and now I'm going to cut. All with my foot. I know, isn't that cool? Even if you don't have that, you could still ruche your tea though. So, okay, that's it. See all that extra fabric? Now I would simply run that through the serger and you'd be finished. And that's what it looks on the outside. Pretty easy. And it does not stretch. It always stays put. Your ruching will always be perfect no matter what.
So I hope you see how easy that is to do ruching. I do ruching in one sleeve, both sleeves, one side of the garment. I love the asymmetrical look. All I do is, you could do this on a shirt that you already own. Just ruche one side. Very easy. And for those of you that want to sew from scratch, don't forget about my little pattern available on my website, angelawolfpatterns.com. See you soon!